Yo, if you've been waiting on Neverness to Everness, the pre-download is live right now. Like, you can go grab it after this video. So stick around because I'm gonna walk you through everything. The launch times for your region, the system requirements on PC and mobile, and a full step-by-step install guide for PC so you don't have to guess your way through it. Let's get into it. Real quick, for anyone who's new, Neverness to Everness, or NTE, is a supernatural open-world action RPG made by Hata Studio and Perfect World Games. You're basically an anomaly hunter exploring this massive urban city called Hetero, which is full of supernatural weirdness going on. Think open-world exploration, action combat, gacha characters. It's very much in that same lane as Wuthering Waves or Genshin, but with its own urban, paranormal vibe. The game's been in development for a while, and it's finally launching globally. And yeah, the pre-download just went live. So let's talk about that. So the global launch is set for April 29, 2026, and the servers open at the same moment worldwide. But because of time zones, what that actually means for you depends on where you are. If you're in North America, you're looking at 8 p.m. Pacific or 11 p.m. Eastern on April 28th. So technically, you're getting in on the 28th. Japan and Korea, that's 12 p.m. on April 29th. For Indonesia and Southeast Asia, it's around 10 to 11 a.m. on April 29th, depending on your exact time zone. So basically, most of Asia gets it in the late morning. Americas get it the night before, and Europe lands somewhere in between in the early hours of the 29th. One thing that's really cool is that NTE has full crossplay and cross-progression from day one. PC, Mac, PS5, PS5 Pro, iOS, Android, all linked under one PWG account. So you can start on PC and continue on your phone, or vice versa. Your progress carries over seamlessly. Alright, let's talk specs. Starting with PC, because NTE is genuinely demanding. This isn't one of those games you can just run on anything. For recommended specs, you're looking at an Intel Core i7 12th Gen, paired with either an RTX 3060 or an RX 6700. You'll also want 32 GB of RAM and at least 60 GB of free storage, preferably on an SSD. The devs actually specifically call out SSD as the way to go for the best experience. Now here's the thing, during installation you're going to need an extra 60 GB temporarily for unpacking, so practically speaking, clear out around 120 GB before you start if you want to be safe. On the minimum side, you can get away with a Core i7 10th Gen, a GTX 1660, and 16 GB of RAM, but you should expect some frame drops, especially at launch since optimization is still ongoing. Now for mobile, and this is where it gets interesting because NTE is genuinely trying to push mobile hardware. On Android, the recommended chipset is a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 or Gen 3, minimum is a Snapdragon 855 with at least 6 GB of RAM and 20 GB of storage. On iOS, you'll want at least an iPhone 12 Pro Max to run it at all, but the recommended device is an iPhone 14 Pro or later for a smooth experience. The game requires iOS 15 or higher and about 20 GB of free space. The devs have been upfront that they're still actively optimizing, so if you're on an older or lower-end device, you might hit some stutters early on. That's pretty normal for a big launch like this. Hopefully it improves fast. Okay, this is the part a lot of people want. How do you actually install this thing? Because NTE is not on Steam or Epic, you have to go through their official launcher. Here's exactly how to do it. Step 1. Go to the official website. I'll put the link in the description. Once you're there, hit the PC download button. The launcher installer itself is only around 54 megabytes, so it downloads fast. Step 2. Run the installer. Give it a moment to load up the setup, then it'll ask you to pick an installer language. Choose yours and move on. Step 3. Choose where you want to install the game. You can leave it at the default path if you don't have a preference, but make sure that drive has at least 63 GB free. Once you're good, hit Start Install. Step 4. The installer will download an update package that's around 879 megabytes. Just let it do its thing. This part doesn't take super long. Step 5. After that download finishes, the NTE launcher will open automatically. Inside the launcher, click Install to start pulling down the actual game files. This is the big one, about 52 GB of game data. Put this on overnight or while you're doing something else. Step 6. Once everything's downloaded and patched, you're set. Just hit Start Game when the server's open and you're in. That's it. Straightforward once you know the steps. For Android users, head to the Google Play Store, search for Neverness to Everness, and tap the pre-install button. It'll download in the background. For iOS, same deal. Go to the App Store, find the game, and tap Download or Pre-order. The files will preload so you're ready at launch. For PS5, this one's a little different. Pre-download is only available if you bought the pre-order package. If you didn't, just wait until launch day and download it normally for free. You're not missing out on anything by waiting. So, to recap, NTE pre-download is live now. Global launch is April 29th. Servers open at 3 a.m. UTC, and your local time will vary. Crossplay is fully supported from day one across every platform. PC needs some decent hardware and about 60 gigabytes of space, and the install process goes through the official launcher. Not Steam, not Epic, just their own client. With over 35 million pre-registrations already in, launch day servers are gonna be busy. Downloading now is genuinely the move if you want to just jump in the moment. It goes live without sitting through a massive queue. If this helped you out, drop a like. It actually helps the channel a lot. And if you're not subscribed yet, now's a good time since I'll be covering NTE content as the game launches. Links for the official site and download are in the description. I'll see you in Hetero.